Yo, we're gonna let this room fill up. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to the nation. Don't forget to tell a neighbor. We're in here already. Let's get this thing going one way or another. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all. I hope you got your coffee. I hope you guys ready for Terrell Owens, right? He want to talk. We're going to listen to what he got to say, and then I want your guys' feedback, Q&A towards the end. You guys know how this thing go, one way or another. Let's go.
Terrell Owens is with us, and he sent out this tweet after the Cowboys lost to the Rams in the playoffs. Hey, Jerry Jones, about time for a coaching change, don't you think? 2 playoff wins in 10 years. Garrett isn't the answer and never will be. Way to compete, guys. Real talk. So
I sent that.
I think that was you.
That was my account.
You got a burner
I think it was. I hope not. Either way, once you tweet those things out, you know, these guys, they don't miss it. So, Terrell, when you think about that, tweet, are you putting all the blame on Jason Garrett?
Absolutely, because, you know, a team takes on the temperament of their head coach.
They do.
And I think early in the season when they were just a disaster, and then they improved upon the first part of the season, I think a lot of those guys, they had pride. Anybody that has played the game, you have pride. You get tired of losing. And what that did, sadly to say, is that saved Garrett's job. That saved his job. But how can you continue to not get past the first round of the playoffs? You've had ample enough times and opportunities to get this team beyond where they've gotten. Look at, in my situation, we had a great team when I played there. And because of certain situations, with injuries or whatever the case may be, we never got over the hump with such a great team that we had. And now they have some pieces in place, and they're still kind of just island in the water.
Once again, I can't believe it, but I
They agree
completely
with each other.
concur.
He done fired him like
I would have fired him
last 3 years.
Yeah, I fired him 17 times.
My thing is, why not make the change now? Because you extend him, you wait to the middle of the season, or you go to start of the new season.
Listen.
And then things don't go well, then you're going to fire him mid-season. Anyway.
You know Jerry ain't firing Jason.
What?
What the
Jerry
hell?
ain't gonna fire Jason.
What the hell? What the hell Shannon Sharp got on? Oh, my God. Boy, if you don't take all them colors off, mess me up this early in the morning. Boy, look at what we got here. A tisket, a tasket. This brother need to get his kick. I'm going to keep it PG-13. Oh, my goodness. Violation. Throw in the flag. Oh, my. I ain't going to say anything.
Well, what's going to change?
Oh, I'm not disagreeing. It's like saying that Jason Garrett is a good coach.
At some point, something has to change. Something has to change.
Look, Shannon,
when and how and where.
Jason Garrett is not bad at what he does, but this team is way better than not bad.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you.
And clearly, Jerry Jones loves Jason Garrett like a son.
He do.
And Jason Garrett does whatever Jerry tells him to do, which is why their partnership works.
I like that statement.
Yeah.
He likes him like a son. Guess what? He liked Tony Romo like a son, too.
Yep.
And he had to get rid of him at some point.
Yep.
It's different,
why
though,
not?
T.O.
So the rumors...
Man, it's so different, man. If we look at Jason Garrett's total body of work, it's different. We know that Jerry Jones is in mad love with Jason Garrett, but I'm gonna let them talk.
Persist that Jerry would go get Sean Payton from New Orleans, and would I love that? I'm signing off. If you can explain to me how that's possible, you're way ahead of me, because I can't figure out the reality. Because
exactly.
He's got 2 more years under contract. You would have to trade for Sean Payton.
And you ain't got no first rounder.
You don't have one this year, but would you trade that? Because they would want
some future
first rounders.
They might want 2 future first
John
rounders.
Gruden went for 3.
He did.
And it should be done. If there's any way that this could be worked out, I would take a stab at it. Do you not think a Sean Payton Cowboy team would do better than a Garrett?
But let me tell you the difference between Sean Payton and Jason Garrett. The final say of the final 53 is going to be Sean Payton.
And guess what? The proof is in the pudding. His resume speaks for itself.
It was in the pudding with Jimmy. It was in the pudding with Bill Parcells. They said we are.
Things have changed, and I'm sure.
You believe Jerry Jones has changed?
I think if the right people get in his ear to make this happen, it will happen.
I agree. And Jerry is not getting any younger, and I think he
Exactly.
sees that he's got a shot.
There were people that got in his ear to get rid of me, and it happened.
But you're right. He got in there.
You know what? That is funny because I always thought you were like a son to him in a lot of ways.
I did too.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Let me tell you why Jerry's not going to fire Jason. Because Jason's not the coach.
Boy, them colors.
Because
man.
Jerry gets to coach without taking any of the blame. You and I both know Jason Garrett is not a gambler by nature. But since when Jerry criticized him after that Texans game, what did Jason Garrett do on fourth down?
He did.
Almost all the fourth downs from that point on, he's going for it like a riverboat gambler. Mm-hmm. He's not Ron Rivera. He's not Sean Payton. He's not Sean McVay, guys that we normally see go for it on fourth down. And the fact of the matter
There lies the problem.
I know it.
There lies the problem.
Jerry is the problem.
No, the coach is the problem. Jerry ain't calling no plays.
He called the plays that Jerry wanted him to do.
Yeah.
You know that.
How do you figure that?
Sometimes with a calculator, sometimes with scratch paper. But I come to the same conclusion that Jerry Jones is running all of the show.
Now he fires Linehan.
He did.
Every year there's a scapegoat.
Let me ask you a question.
It's not Garrett. It's always somebody.
What did Jason Garrett say? Now, Jason Garrett came out on Monday and said, my staff is coming back. Scott Linehan is coming back. Stephen Jones says, wait a minute. Jason Garrett didn't fire Scott Linehan. Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones fired Scott Linehan.
Pull that G card on him.
Mm-hmm.
Straight pull that G card.
And Skip say he's an emperor with no cloak.
No clothes.
No clothes.
So
he ain't got no clothes on. He button ball like this. You know it.
So explain this one to me. So Ian
Talk to me.
Rappaport has tweeted, I think this was this morning, that now the Cowboys are in flux with Kellen Moore as the probable new offensive coordinator who used to be the backup quarterback, as you know. And John,
go get Tony Romo. If that's the case.
Well, that's true. I think he's got a high-paid job.
Yeah, I don't know. $6 million to be in the booth and not taking it here and not meet every day.
So they brought back John Kitna to be the quarterback coach and Doug Nussmeier, and you remember he used to be the Roll Tides coordinator for 12 and 13.
Tide.
So he's now going to have more influence. He's the tight end coach in calling plays. But this says Jason Garrett will not be allowed to call plays. So I don't know who. Maybe they're going to trade off down.
But you know what? And I hope you guys don't get completely mad at me when I say this, because I love this team just like everybody else that's on this channel right now. I love this team outside of the man that's on the Periscope. He's saying 49er nations. But this is the thing. I'm looking at it like this. We love Jason Garrett. Collectively, we love Jason Garrett. We love what he brings to the team or what have you. But let's be real with ourselves, man. Let's be real with it. Come on, can anybody be real with it? Can anybody take the bird box view out from their faces? There's nobody in life that's going to say, man, that coach, man, he out-schemed us today. He outperformed us on the field. Look, Jason Garrett is Jason Garrett at this point in time. You are who you are. It's just what it is. You are who you are at this point. The guy had a long enough time for us to come to a conclusion of what he is. And I think that the Dallas Cowboys are trying to do like they did with the Steelers. They kept that coach forever. You guys can help me out, man. Put his name in the chat box. But the coach to do all the spitting, and then when he finally won it, trust me, it wasn't due to his coaching. It was due to that team that was surrounded him. And shout out to Dick LeBeau, who was actually the defensive coordinator for that particular team. And let me know where they've been since then. But it's crazy to us to sit back and think, just to really think, for us to, even if we do get to the championship game, or even if we do get to the playoff game, beyond the playoff into the Super Bowl, do you guys really think that you guys put all of our trust, our love, our adulations, all of our hard-earned cash, all of our thoughts into Jason Garrett? Because if I hear one more speech about, how you doing, guys? I might just lose my mind. It's one of those, Bill Cowher, appreciate you, Kerry. Man, do you guys really think, just let me know, can Jason Garrett take us there? That's all I want to know. And I know for sure we should win over 9 to 10 games next year. We should. By talent alone, we should win about that many games. Just by talent alone. Yes. But do you guys feel in your heart? Like when sometimes you can look at a coach, and then I know people like to go look at the win-loss records and say, well, Sean Payton is not that much better because of his winning percentage. But if you guys look at the collective picture, do you really think that we are maximizing this particular roster, this particular front office as it relates to Will McClay, scouting evaluation? And if all we need is a coach, if that's the main thing that we need is a coach that can flip this thing around, my goodness. But let's listen to some more what they have to say. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let me know. I could be
When
wrong.
you get first down.
What they calling the game by committee now?
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah, Jerry Jones does that.
Come on.
I'm not saying go out there and get Sean Payton.
Well, he has to look himself at some point in the mirror and understands that, hey,
Would Jerry be wearing a headset up in his booth?
Yeah.
Hey,
That's what we been trying to tell you, T.O. You know Jerry running that thing. Like you said, who got you up out of it?
exactly. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in Jerry. Jerry, where's my camera? I'm disappointed in you.
Hold on. Okay, let me ask you this. How was Jason as a play caller?
All right, I want to listen.
At times, look, when we were 13-3, and then the year we came back, and then we didn't do so well, that's because defenses, we caught everybody off guard, caught them by surprise. Then these defenses had a chance to game plan for us. As you saw at one point in the game, you saw Amari Cooper said he was frustrated. I felt this frustration because he hadn't been there that long and already knew that they were running the same old thing. And they saw in the game that they came back and won, I think there was some eye contact with him and Dak where he came back and he was like, yo, why are we running the same play? And they adjusted that route and he ended up scoring on it. Because it's the same old thing over and over. At some point, you gotta renew. You gotta evolve with the times. You can't keep running the same thing, dude. That's why they're not winning beyond the first round. They're not going to go anywhere with a Jason Garrett coach team. I'm just telling you.
Quarterback need to get better.
Worked out.
All right. I'm going to say this, man, before I rock on out of here. And I'm going to do a quick Q&A. This is the thing, and I'm going to be real with each and every last one of you all. When we look at the X's and O's, Jimmy and Joe's, whatever you want to look at it, when you look at that, what T.O. is saying, there is truth lies within this, meaning that, and I'm gonna go back to say this, and I don't know each and every last one of you all, but I can guarantee you this right here: not everyone is lying about you. So far on record, there's no coaching tree that relates to Jason Garrett. That's one thing. Second thing, Patrick Creighton's of the world. We always go back to that particular game, right? 2007. They say, oh, he dropped the ball. Boo sugar. That ball, when he dropped the ball, what have you, it was in the third quarter, late in the third quarter. Or it could have been right in the first part of the fourth quarter. Ample enough time to make adjustments to come back and win that game. But what the Cowboys do every year, and I love my team, we pick out one flaw in the game, and we use that as the excuse opposed to just looking at the raw facts of everything. Of course, at that point in time, Jason Garrett was not the head coach, but damn it, he was the offensive coordinator. We look at that piece of the puzzle, and then we look at 2008 injuries, and then we start talking about 2009. We just didn't have a defense, and then we talk about 2011. We wasn't prepared. 2014, the refs screwed us. We was going to beat Seattle Seahawks or what have you. We think about this thing, but we never really talk about the true facts of the matter. And then we get to go days and days and days and beyond, and then we still point at the same thing. It's quite funny to me. The same similar arguments, or I guess rebuttals, that we had for people out there in 2007 is the same thing that we talk about in 2019. Whether it be, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Dak Prescott can't do this and he can't do that and he can't do this and that and whatever it may be. But I can juxtapose this right here, the same argument that the same thing we're talking about in 2019 was the exact same BS we were talking about in 07, 08, 09, and beyond. It's the same particular argument. But what do we do in life, especially those who young, who still in grade school or what have you, or elementary? They say find the what? The common denominator. What is the common denominator of all this situation? I'm trying to keep it PG-13, if you know what I mean. What's the common denominator? Now, can Jason Garrett win you Super Bowls? Probably so. Probably so. We probably win the Super Bowl next year. But dog it, look what you got to go through to get there. Man, I'm telling you, not everybody's lying about you. Not everybody's lying about you. Patrick Creighton, he had negative things to say about the old coach, Jason Garrett, and DeMarcus Ware, of all people, had something to say about Jason Garrett. Terrell Owens had something to say about Jason Garrett. At some point, somebody got to be telling the truth. Man, oh man, oh man. Sam Hurd, although he's locked up in jail somewhere, he had something to say about Jason Garrett. Is this a known pattern? Oh, who else you have? Was this during the times of Dak Prescott? No, this is before he even existed on his team. Before he even picked out his number for this team. There were people talking about Jason Garrett, and we get up here and we say, okay, we can have a chance. It's a possibility. But damn it, I tell you right now, this defense is coming along the corner. Can we get this offense together? It's one of those things where you got to look back and look at everything and say to yourself, how can this team be the team that can methodically win us games when it gets to the big dance? When you go with the philosophy, and I may be wrong, my strength versus your strength. In the National Football League, it's parity amongst everybody. Everybody's good now. That stuff might have worked in the 90s. Hell, it might have worked in the 80s. You probably can get away with it just a little bit in the early 2000s, But what happened here, if you said my man is just going to outperform and be your guy across the table, guess how many games you can win? Naturally, given that type of philosophy, 8 games. You're going to win 8 games, basically. Now, based off player talent and players' ability to get things going in the right direction, you may be a +2 game. You may be a +3 with that. So that's what you get. You get a 10-6 or 11-5, maybe a 12-4. If the guys that you have, that you're going to go with the philosophy of my man are better than your man type of deal. But guess what? In order for that to happen, everybody got to be healthy. And that's what we're seeing. When somebody snap up their stuff and lay down, this team diminished. Because we don't have the actual coaching mindset to say, okay, we're going to take this subpar player and elevate this particular guy. We just don't have those type of ingredients. Name me 5 strong players within the last 11 years that this coaching staff developed on the offensive side of the ball. One can argue, hey, Cole Beasley. This coaching staff developed Cole Beasley. Give me 5 strong players that this offense had developed. I'm waiting. Or give me 5 strong coaches that within this 11 years or what have you, whatever it may be, that the opposing team says, or the opposing franchises out there said, you know what? I like the way they running stuff down there at Dallas. I want that particular offensive coordinator. Or damn it, give me this tight end coach. We can elevate this guy. Or give me this person. Name me 5 strong guys. That's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for 5. But we go back and forth, Cowboy Nation. And naturally, I'm positive about this team. And we can look at things and say to ourselves, yes, these are the possibilities. These are the parameters. So next year, going into this season, Jerry Jones, he loved to hire from within. And there's nothing wrong with that. But my thing is, damn it, bring some outside guys in just to have some different opinions, some different views. We know how this story ends. We saw what happened with Dave Campos of the world. Oh, he's an inside guy. He's a guy that helped us win Super Bowls in the earlier part of the 90s. Let's bring him along the way. And then one can argue and say, well, the free agency and the salary cap was so trash at the time. No, these are just built-in excuses. I love the excuses. I love to give them out. But they don't taste good when the reality hits. This expectations meets reality talk. That's just what it is, man. So... Vero said free Sam Hurd. Yeah, whole boy can get free. But let me read some of you guys' comments, man. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all early this morning. Let me see who we have here. Sheila Neal says T.O. speaks the truth. I agree. Yeah, he speaks the truth on that matter. He's been inside the camp, so he knows what's going on emotionally. He knows what's going on in and out. He knows everything that's going in and out. Shout out to you, Sheila Neal. Quest Cowboys said Jason Garrett has no game. He's a lamer, basically. Jason Garrett. We already know the truth about Jason Garrett. Barry Switzer would be an upgrade. Is he still alive? Alive. Yes, Barry Switzer is still alive. Sean Payton, I think Stephen Jones going to make it happen. Yeah, it could be quite possible. Dabo Sweeney. That would be nice, man. Somebody with a creative mind. Now, my own thing is the xenophobia right now. That's what is going on right now. It's the xenophobia. It's the fear of the unknown. Meaning that now we got Kellen Moore. He's going to be the offensive coordinator, or it's going to be Doug Nussmeier. And Jason Garrett pretty much got an escape pass of not calling the offense. It's crazy to me because whenever you talk about leadership, when you talk about management 101, if you are commanding a group of people and the production is not getting done, everybody have reasonings, but results are what matter. The truth of it would be that I'm going to get down and I'm going to make things happen. That's what a true leader of man would do. When everything going south, that leader would stand up and say, you know what? I'm going to battle. I'm going to lead my troops. I'm not going to allow my front line to get murked. I'm going to show everybody that I'm the real deal Holyfield. And that's what we have yet to see what to happen with Jason Garrett administrations. We have yet to see him when everything went south for him to say, you know what? Bump what everybody has said that they're going to do. I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk down and I'm going to let everybody know my presence because I'm Jason Garrett. I think that I want to say the Ravens did that one year. They didn't like the things that was going on, and they said, forget this, 2 tears in a bucket, pluck it. I'm going to fire my offensive coordinator, and I'm going to call the plays. And I think they ultimately won the Super Bowl that year. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's one of those things, guys, whereas we're going to have to look at this thing and just be like, okay, the xenophobia is going to be on all this offseason. Because now we're going to have to figure out who's going to be the offensive coordinator. And from what I've heard from 105.3 The Fan and my guy Mike Fisher and those boys, is that the actual experience is what's scaring the Cowboys for making the main decision so quick.